The Ministry of Fisheries terminates New Zealand's biggest ever power bust in Operation Paid.
We'll put the dogs through here. Is there any power here?
An early morning raid of a suspected supplier is greeted with threats of violence.
Hey, catch up with you, mother.
And an illegal diver isn't putting out the welcome mat. Power poaching's a never-ending nationwide battle for Ministry of Fisheries officers, and Wellington's one of the places where the fishery's been badly hit by the activities of organised criminal groups, stripping the shoreline of the black gold.
Stop! Hey! Right, stop! What you're doing? Stop! You touch that again, you'll be under arrest. Stop there, fellas. You're under arrest. See the marker, boy? Right on top of where your sacks are. I've got reasonable grounds to believe you committed offences against the Fisheries Act. These offences include taking excess, taking undersized, possession of power, taking in contravention of the Fisheries Act. Do you understand that?
The trade in black market power is worth tens of millions of dollars every year, and it's estimated that more than half the power caught in New Zealand waters is caught illegally, damaging the economy and threatening the fishery.
Well, that's a big one.
In 2002, the Ministry of Fisheries tried to clean up the illegal power trade when they executed Operation Pac-Man.
Our estimate of the illegal take was about 300 tonnes of power from the Wellington-Wairarapa area.
Just 3 years later, Operation Keeper showed that the lucrative underground activity had mushroomed again.
We're going to head in.
Copy. Would you like to open the front door? We can come in through this window.
Operation Keeper has given rise to the largest bust ever undertaken by fisheries and the subject of tonight's Coastwatch special, Operation Paid, which used an undercover Special Duties Fishery Officer, an SDFO, to infiltrate and gather evidence on the poaching ring.
You'll see very clearly from this operation, and you know from the past operations, Pac-Man particularly, that it's an organised criminal enterprise motivated entirely by greed, targeting power stocks that are easily accessible. It's destroying an iconic customary fishery, and it's depriving the commercial industry of millions in domestic and export earnings. If it's allowed to continue, then there won't be a fishery to destroy in not too many years' time.
Operation Paid Special Duties Fishery Officer played a pivotal role in the investigation, going undercover for nearly a year and shifting power valued at $1.3 million.
The SDFO himself has lived the life of a criminal, away from his family and friends, in circumstances that would be very well much beyond the comfort zone of any of us.
The undercover officer had identified a network generating income in excess of $13,000 a week for buyers and $7,000 for divers, and the longer the operation went on, the more dangerous it became. The morning after the briefing, 130 fishery officers and 70 police officers prepared to execute the business end of Operation Paid. Coordinated raids on 4 key North Island locations over 3 days. This is New Zealand's biggest ever power bust.
Morning. Mate, I'm from Ministry of Fisheries. We've got the New Zealand Police here as well. What we need is if you can get everybody into the lounge. Yeah, we'll come into the lounge. Here's a copy of the authority to enter, okay?
Sons, get up. How many people here, mate? Hey? How many people here? I saw my family.
Oh, okay.
The man's a gang associate and is not responding well to his early morning wake-up call.
What's all the
we're going to tell you what it's all about.
Right.
We need to
I just want to know why are you here?
Yeah, it's all on the it's all on the authority to enter, right?
What's going to basically happen is you're going to come to it with us down to the police station for a formal interview.
I ain't going down to the cop shop. You can talk to me in there.
No, you are.
Why? Why? You got to have evidence.
Look, hey, I don't want to get into the nitty-gritties of it, but yeah, that's how it's going to happen. Okay, what we're going to interview you about is basically power offences.
I can't even swim.
Even with the presence of a large number of fishery officers and police, getting the 2 offenders out of the house is proving difficult.
Gee, Dave! Excuse me, sir. Oh, excuse me. Yeah, mister, I'm still on. He's left,
Hey, catch up with you, mother.
The anger isn't unexpected. These guys are alleged to be making thousands of dollars a week from black market power, and it's about to disappear.
I don't want to leave here, and if I stay in here, I can terrorise my family. That's what I'm saying, all right?
And diving equipment and vehicles used in the illegal trade are also going to go.
As you can see, we've found vehicles of interest. Certainly the white vehicle will be seizing that. Also, there's another reddy coloured vehicle up the front that's been involved in the alleged purchase and sale of power as well. So any vehicle that anybody's used in that regard will be seized today. A brother of one of the offenders arrived, claimed he owned a van. Unfortunately for him, but for whoever owns the vehicle doesn't necessarily matter, because if the vehicle's been used in the commission of an offence in buying and selling power, the outcome is that it will be seized, whoever owns it or has a right to it.
With the vehicles and equipment on their way to the fisheries depot, police take the suspects away.
Both persons of interest have been located. They've been now taken to the local police station to be formally interviewed. So far, so good. And we've got what we needed.
There was no power or dive equipment found at the address, but fishery officers located items which, when coupled with the SDFO's testimony, will put this link in the power chain out of action. Both the divers were convicted on charges of illegally trading in power. One received a sentence of 10 months home detention and 200 hours community work. The other was sentenced to 250 hours community work. Now another team's assembled for a briefing before visiting more homes of known suppliers of black market power.
We want to interview this character. Once we've got everything under control, probably bring him back if he's there for interview.
The suspect's been identified by Operation Paid's undercover officer. He's a diver who's believed to be making over $7,000 a week from dealing illegal power.
Given his involvement with some of the players that have been involved in this operation, I'd be surprised if he hasn't had some sort of warning of what's been happening. Yes, that'll be interesting to see what sort of response we get at the other end.
G'day, how are you?
Live here.
The response to the early morning call is a mix of bewilderment and denial.
G'day there.
Oh my goodness, I in a bloody morning.
Yeah, well, sorry about this. My name's Murray. I'm a fishery officer with the Ministry of Fisheries. I've got an authority to enter here to inspect your premises, as we believe you've been involved in some illegal fishing activity.
Oh, mate, I haven't been involved in anything.
Yeah, well, we've got good information that suggests you have been.
You've got a search warrant?
Yep. Well, it's not a search warrant, but it's we have authority to enter. There's a copy here for you.
As Murray suspected, the alleged offender already knows about Operation Paid. The criminal grapevine has been busy since the first raids in the early hours of the morning.
Mate, you're going to find none of that here, mate.
Well, we'll have a look anyway. And, well, we need to have a look at your premises. How many people you got on the premises here today?
Just us, just my family.
How many of you?
4 of us.
Could you ask them to come through here so we could identify them as well, please?
The situation quickly deteriorates into verbal abuse and a general unwillingness to cooperate.
Yeah, the hell you guys got this?
No, well, if there's nothing here, it's not going to take us long.
Up there,
Paul's explained to you we need to speak to you later today as well, after we're finished here. So about...
What the hell you want to speak to me for?
That's when we'll explain the details of the...
In spite of the protests, Murray's team plans to search the premises to find anything to link the suspect and his associate to evidence collected for Operation Paid.
Yeah, I know that. If you and Chris can just start searching that place there, that area there, and just work systematically through the house. Well, OK, if you both start at the black bedroom then, so that if he identifies anything that you can pick it up off him. Thanks, sorry.
Yeah, man, no power or anything.
But this man's not making life easy for himself. Murray calls in police to move him to a more controlled environment.
What we've decided to do is we'll get our target back to the Kilburnie police station as soon as possible. He's obviously not happy, so we'll get him down there and complete the interview with him and go from there.
The officers couldn't find any documentation or other evidence at the address, but further investigations led to a conviction on charges of selling illegal power. The diver was sentenced to 4 months home detention and was banned from fishing for 3 years. And by the end of its first day, Operation Paid had dealt a severe blow to the supply chain of the power poaching ring. Day 2 of Operation Paid is underway, and with the lower levels of the criminal network shut down, Ministry of Fisheries begin critical sweeps around New Zealand to pick up and stop buyers and distributors of black market power. In Wellington, a fisheries team is being assembled early for a briefing prior to visiting another home of a known receiver of the lucrative shellfish.
I'll give you a copy of the authority to enter the address. Effectively, that's just like a search warrant, but it's allowing us just to get our foot on the door. Okay, so this morning we're part of a team of, what do we got, 2, 4, 6, 7 of us going to an address of a lady, and the allegation is that she's made 5 separate purchases from a special duties fishery officer over the last few months, and so we're going there to look for evidence of any things that she may have at the address linking it to those purchases. She's certainly been of interest to fisheries before, and visits there previously have indicated that she has the potential to get rather excited with fisheries presence, and so we need to be careful, obviously, when we get there.
The woman's potential for excitement at the sight of fishery officers means that the team will send in a police officer before anybody else makes an appearance.
To get Lisa to go to the front door, the policewoman, and just simply getting the door open, and once someone answers the door, then we'll take it from there. We have staff around the back, hopefully being able to sneak up the driveway and cover the back entrance, and then myself and John and the other policeman, once we see that Lisa's got the door open, we can come through. We've got a power detector dog with us who will help with going through the property just to identify if there's any evidence of power there quickly.
Although it takes a while to raise them, the occupants of the house are at home. But as is often the case, getting in isn't that easy.
I just told you I can't open the door.
Okay,
here.
can you open the back door for me? I'll just wait right here.
What's your name?
Eventually, one of the people in the house manages to find a door that they can open.
I'm from Fisheries. Just wait there, please. Just wait there. Got a power dog who's going to come through the address, so just have a look through and just check for any evidence of any power.
Have you got any power? I don't know. You don't know? No, I don't.
The man may not know if he has any power in the house, but a dog specially trained to pick up the unmistakable scent will certainly be able to tell.
There's no animals inside? Checking the freezer.
Good boy, he's given a positive indication on the freezer.
Okay. As the clearly unhappy woman looks on, the search turns up its first bag of power.
So that's all the power you've got here?
Yeah.
Okay, that's good. Thank you.
Just the one, as I understand, one bag of power in the freezer behind us, and a little indication on the freezer over here as well from the dog.
Good boy.
The dog's nose doesn't lie, but the fishery inspector thinks the suspects might.
Now, there's no other power here? Do you sell power in the shop?
No.
With only a small amount of power found in the house, officers decide to split the search team between the home and the couple's restaurant.
So if we leave Liz here and we go down to the shop with her opening up, cleared, take the power dog down there, that'll be there. Yeah.
And then we can get rid of the dog as well.
Yeah.
But down at the restaurant, it's quickly apparent that nobody here is going to admit to anything.
We'll put the dogs through here. Is there any power here?
No, where's the power here?
No power here? Okay, that's fine. Yeah. When the special duties officer was here making the sales through the back door here, he identified some things like the chili bin there. So it's just looking for those things that he's identified, some scales that were here, and if we can locate those, that obviously adds to what he was able to tell us at the time.
Denial of holding or receiving illegal power is a common theme throughout Operation Paid, but locating the scales mentioned in the undercover officer's report gives fisheries more evidence to press for a conviction.
Bit of a rabbit warren, but so we've done the back room to check that out, so we're just coming through the restaurant now.
When her case came to court, the woman was found guilty of trading in illegal power and was sentenced to 3 months community detention, 50 hours of community work, and her vehicles were forfeited to the Crown. The first stages of Operation Paid's termination phase had gone well. Divers had been put out of business, and search teams were beginning to make headway with the other people involved with black market power. Although so far nobody's been able to locate the leader of the poaching ring. Next week on Coastwatch, Operation Paid continues as teams of police and fishery officers go after more members of the poaching ring.
Yeah, the dog just identified this as being of interest to it, so looks like there's potentially power meat on there.
The power dog is back in action as an Auckland property is identified as trafficking in large amounts of illegal shellfish. And Auckland fishery officers bust another businessman found to be in receipt of black market power.
We'll close the doors.